Kyle, I wanted to ask you about just the division in general, man, because it's not, to me, it feels like it's not my mom and dad's AL East like it used to be, where it's Yankees, Red Sox, and then everybody else. There's so much parity, so much competitiveness there with every team. It feels like any team could really win the division year in and year out. Do you like that? Do you hate it as a Sox fan? What is your take on how the division shaped out last season and how it's kind of set to shape out this season again?
Well, I'll be honest. I love the competitive nature of the AL East. Always have. I love using that as a talking point when making points about this very division. But I enjoyed it a little more when I could count on the Red Sox being in those top two spots. Going back and forth with the Yankees or whoever it was. But now I'm just sitting here complimenting the competitive nature of the division, sitting in the basement. So it's come full circle. I've experienced both ends of it now, but I always say I always have to take off the Red Sox glasses from time to time, and I have to go, is this good for baseball? And seeing the O's take the should I say take the throne? Am I getting ahead of myself? Can I say the O's taking the throne right now?
I mean, I won't stop.
Go for it, man. Yeah, I don't think anyone in here is going to be mad about it.
Yeah, I mean, I think in terms of betting odds, I think in terms of talking heads predictions, I think it's safe to say the O's are in a great position. They're in great shape. I myself have them in the World Series this year, but it's always fun to see a new team sort of rise to the top in this division. And I think the O's, given some of these names that you guys have already talked about on the show today, and have been talking about really all off season, you guys are going to be in an excellent position for the next, I'm just going to go ahead and say decade. Let's just go ahead and say it. Assuming you lock up the names that you're supposed to lock up. That's key.
So what you're saying is the Orioles are going to be one of the best teams?
Absolutely. And my entire point to the division competitive question is I just want to be up there in the mix with you guys again. We're looking down the barrel of a third straight last place finish in the AL East. So that's kind of the life we're living right now.
Well, so before actually, we're going to ask a little bit more about the rest of the AL East. And Ollie, enough of the squeaky toy. Can you hear that, Kyle?
Oh, I can.
Oh, you can? Hey, buddy.
I'm surprised Rookie is not upstairs doing the same thing.
Yeah, so so Kyle has a golden too. They need to meet. It needs to be a battle of the Goldens, and it'd be great. They're either going to be best friends or worst enemies. One of the two. We don't know yet, but probably best friends. But before we get into the rest of the AL East here, if you're new to the channel, hit that like and subscribe button. Ryan Ripken Show. We got Kyle Corwin with the 3-0 take, which you guys should follow him on Instagram. X, I think on X, your Kyle Corwin takes. And then the podcast is the 3-0 take, which I will be jumping on to mess around from time to time when Kyle and Nate will have me on. I know this would have been a good moment for Nate in this situation, but the Yankees won 4 straight in Houston. And actually, I tell people this, and you might think, oh, it's early on. And it is, but I think they just won the playoff tiebreaker against Houston, if I'm not mistaken. Is that a lie? Is that around there? Is they already won 4 games?
Yeah, I feel like that would, because they would play 2 series, correct? And yeah, if one of them was a 4-game series, yeah.
And maybe I'm completely wrong, but the thing I'm not wrong on is they had 3 comeback wins, and the 4th win was a go-ahead RBI by Juan Soto off of Josh Hader. Kyle, I mean, I tell people this, if you're a Yankees fan, could it have been a better start? And the bullpen has been absolutely dynamite for New York over those first 4 games.
Look, Nate, unfortunately, the reason Nate couldn't be here is, well, fortunately, he got married Saturday. So it's unfortunate in that I had to go solo on the pod last night, but you're not going to believe this. I actually had, 10, 15 minutes where I was doing nothing but just complimenting the Yankees left and right. I had nothing to say. I had nothing but good things to say about the Yankees, and I specifically looked at Juan Soto. But my biggest, I don't know if concern is the right word, but the warning that I want to give to Yankees fans who are Understandably so. Just riding incredibly high on this Juan Soto start. I mean, he's hitting like over 500, like 529. Yeah. He's hitting over 529, and I'm seeing nothing but these Yankee fans going, "All right, Hal, how much are we spending on this guy, and for how long?" And I just want to cautiously warn them that Juan Soto historically takes the dip when the calendar turns to April, and we are now here. And I just want to let them know what they should be expecting, because it's not pretty. And I just don't, I want to help them avoid flipping the script with the whole, all right, why did we go after this guy? We need to get him out of town, because they've been known to do that with guys before. So I just want them to know that ahead of time, and not get too wrapped up in this incredibly hot start. So
yeah, it's good. We got to pump the brakes because it's 4 days, but it is an overreaction Monday. But I tell people, the Orioles last year, they were the best team in one-run games. And they, at one point, I don't know if they finished with it, but they were leading all of Major League Baseball in come-from-behind victory. So if there is one thing I look at, that is something, if you can learn to do that early in the season, I think that ultimately can help the Yankees. But you're right. You're still going to have to go through the gauntlet. I'm just impressed that Aaron Judge hasn't done anything. They're 4-0, and Juan Soto is the best player on the field right now. And I think it's a safe bet. Zach heard me say this yesterday. If you're gonna take a bet, who's the two players in the AL that you take for MVP?
Gunnar and Juan.
Those are my choices.
Also, just looking up real quick, Juan Soto has a 245 batting average in April. That's ridiculous. Once you talked about Kyle, I was like, I gotta see what his April stats are over his career. You're right. He does just randomly take a dip in April.
So I've got I don't have it separated just from April. It combines March and April for some reason, but it shows him hitting 254 between March and April. And then May, it jumps to, he hits 299. So he's jumping from a 254 to a 299. OPS jumps from 846 to 941. So that's what you're hoping is around the corner after this month. But I don't want really Yankee fans and baseball fans in general, because I feel like Juan Soto for some reason just gets a bad rap as he's just a walk merchant. It's like, no, we need to just take the one next step to look a little bit deeper into just how good this guy is. And I don't want that narrative to start back up now that he's with the Yankees. And it's that much easier to hate on a guy like Soto, who's with the Yankees. Just, we can sit tight until May. And I even said last night, I said, maybe a new environment changes that. Maybe it snaps the streak there, if you will. So I'm not sure, but they're, even without Juan Soto, they're figuring out ways to make it work.
Oh, and there's Nate. Speak of the devil, and he shall listen. Hearing Yankee compliments. This is from Nate here. Hearing Yankee compliments from you two is the best wedding gift I could hope for. I'll be back soon. Well, hey, enjoy yourself. I know, like, Kyle's smiling, but he's dying inside a little bit, or a lot. That's one way to look at it.
Look, I'll give the Yankees their flowers for the time being, but I by no stretch, by no means am I giving up on the 2024 Red Sox. I just want to make that known now, the 1st of April, so that in case they do make some sort of magical run, that people aren't giving me, they aren't giving me noise because I somehow flipped. Okay. I just want to make that known. I'm going to watch 162 games this year, whether they finish 10 games back in the division or 100 games back in the division, because we all know they're not going to win the division, but I will be there watching the Red Sox.